Okay, thanks for joining me. If any of you have been following my videos on Rumble or on X, Twitter, you would realize and understand what the people have been doing over the last year, year and a half, 3 years. And what we're doing, we've been assembling, we've been learning the law. And at this point, we know it better than any Harvard grad, any lawyer, any judge, and we've been educating our government servants all the way up to the Supreme Court. So this video is the next one in line from the last video I did, and I did a video titled Notice of Maladministration to Robin Vos. So in that video, I described what I did. I put it in a notice, and I had many people participate, so thanks for that. What was in that notice was law and directions and questioning Robin Vos as to why he's not following his duties laid out in the Constitution of Wisconsin, and why he is not following the fundamental law, all of which is baked into these contracts known as our constitutions. So that notice was then gathered. Many signatures was then gathered and delivered to Robin Vos on January 11th of 2024. We got that on video. Myself and 3 other gentlemen delivered that notice to Robin Vos, so he was getting instructions from the people by right, and that is our duty to do so, and it's also his obligation to take instruction from the people, and that's all listed in all the notices that we've been giving to our trustees and servants in government over the last few years. So this video is the next step in line after the notice gets delivered to a government body or trustee specifically. And this method, and the method I like to call, is the Dave Jose, it is written method. We've all been learning, and this is the next step. The next step is an affidavit. And I'm going to share that with you today, and then you're going to understand why we haven't explained it to everybody, because bad actors were trying to get out ahead of the remedy, or trying to get out ahead of it to slow people down from learning how to use the law in order to get due care. Okay, so when someone swears to the Constitution, they have to follow what they said. They swore an oath to do those things, and if they don't, it's bad. Okay, and we've been educated, I don't want to say that, maybe educated, but also programmed over many decades to think that the only way that we can hold these folks accountable is through court cases, and that is not true. Not in the least bit. The other way that we've been programmed to think that the only way we can hold these people accountable is through voting. Okay, again, not 100% true. Okay, in many of the bills of rights listed in other states, particularly in, say, Virginia or the first 13 states that were created, it says in those constitutions, in the bills of rights, and those are our rights as well here in Wisconsin, that these folks in government are our agents and trustees, and they are at all times amenable to us. Okay, all times. So, and I'm going to explain that in just a second. So I'm going to pull up the affidavit. I'm going to screen share here. Okay, so this is the document, and this is the next step in governing your government, and that is our right to do so. So this document is going to be sent to Robin Vos, and this is an affidavit. Here is his address here. We're going to ask you that you carbon copy this to your county sheriff. So we left a blank where you can write in the county and then put your sheriff. You can put his first name, last name after that, right there in that line. We're also going to send this information to Josh Call. He is our Wisconsin Attorney General. We're also going to send this affidavit to Sam Christensen, Wisconsin Clerk of Courts. Ron Johnson, U.S. Congressman. He's on the Subcommittee of Investigations. And Jim Jordan, he is a congressman. Ron Johnson, I think, is a senator. But he's on the House Judiciary Chair. So what this means is the broadest diffusion of knowledge is important. And if somebody in government is not following their duty, it's important that everybody in government knows. So when people have court cases, a lot of times courts over the past few decades, if it's a sensitive topic, what courts like to do is they delete the record. So then the people don't know that justice was served or was not served. And that's what we're gonna get away from that now. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna diffuse this knowledge everywhere. We're gonna let everybody know what we're doing. Ron Johnson understands it now. Jim Jordan has been following our notices for the last year. And it's going to be fun to see what happens. So let's jump in. And the reason why we use U.S. Congress is because U.S. Congress, our federal constitution, guarantees that the people have a Republican form of government. And what that means is representation. And if somebody in our government here in the state of Wisconsin is abrogating our rights to have Republican form of government, it's in the purview or the jurisdiction of the U.S. Constitution and the U.S. legislators to be aware of it, and they can get involved and take over and make sure that this doesn't happen again. So this is notice by affidavit. This is an affidavit. And right out of the gate, we're going to explain who we are. So notice to principal is notice to agent. Notice to agent is notice to principal. Now comes affiant. Affiant is you, the person who is making the statement. In this case, you are one of the people. Sui juris, yeah, that means you're coming of your own right as one of the people who created government. Okay, so this is your highest status as one of the people. That's sui juris. In this court of record, do present you with this affidavit so that you may provide immediate due care. This affidavit is a change of contract in the common law or in common law action and shall stand in courts, in all courts of record. So folks, when someone breaks contract and they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing, and you have clear evidence of that, you've given notice, and then lack of follow through or communication, and they continue doing the same thing, you have a right now to change the contract, okay? And Robin Voss and quite a few folks at the legislative body in our state and all over the place has been getting all kinds of instructions. So at this point, we got to take it to the next level if they're not following through in what their contract said they should be doing. Okay, so maxim of law 59.0. Law is rule of right, and whatever is contrary to the rule of right is an injury. Okay, so we have to have laws, and the law, the constitutions preceded the legislature, meaning the contract was formed and the people created the contract, and then the legislature, once they sit in those seats after they swore an oath, then they have powers, okay? That's the way our constitutions are set up. These are trust indentured contracts. And you have rights accepted and outside of the jurisdiction and the purview, I guess, of government. Those are set aside. So whatever's contrary to the rule of right is an injury. So if somebody is taking away your rights, that's an injury. Okay, so then we're going to explain what that is. Faith must be observed. An agent must not violate the confidence reposed in him. And if Robin Voss wants to continue to violate the confidence reposed in him by this people of Wisconsin, it's going to get very painful. And we're going to do this using the law, and we're going to do it peacefully. So next paragraph here, please take notice that I, one of the people, have the right to alter, reform, or abolish my government in any way that I deem it expedient and in a lawful manner. I am exercising my right to alter the contract of Mr. Voss due to breach of trust and maladministration. So again, you guys haven't been told this, most haven't been taught this, but in the Bills of Rights of all of our 50 states, our rights as the trust protectors and grantors of authority and power are listed. And it says that when someone enters into the government and they want to swear an oath to get a paycheck and follow the rules, we, the people, reserve the right to alter, reform, or abolish. So in this instance, when someone is way outside of the mark, they're missing the mark, they're maladministering their office, or they're breaching the trust, the public trust known as the Constitution, we have the right to alter that. And this is a right of the people. So next paragraph, this is just kind of stating some common knowledge. Notice of maladministration to Robin Voss was delivered on 1/11/2024 to his office and accepted by staff member Jenny Toftness. I believe that's his chief of staff. We got this all on video. We placed this on social media, Twitter. Everybody has witnessed that. Robin Voss, Speaker of the Assembly, has been notified and instructed to stop halting the vote and abrogating the rights of the people to have a Republican form of government. So the vote, meaning referring to the notice that we gave him, Robin Voss is halting the vote of maladministration, the articles of impeachment, for Megan Wolf. He alone is halting that. He's the Speaker of the House. It's in his power to do so. And I'll put the prior notice for context on it if you haven't read it. Most have in the description of the video. But he is halting the vote of the people. So here's what's happening. We instructed our legislature to create articles of impeachment for Megan Wolf because of all of the things that she maladministered for the 2020 election. 5 faithful servants in our state created the articles of impeachment, and they followed our notices, and they did that lawfully, and we lawfully commanded them. They followed suit. And what happened is, now that these articles of impeachment were drawn up, now Robin Voss seems to think that other outside entities can stop him. He keeps making excuses, basically, from bringing that vote to the floor. So Republican form of government. So a Republican form of government just means that the people have the power, and our representatives have some authorities to represent us at the state capitol. But he's blocking that because he's not allowing the vote to happen, therefore blocking your voice, your rights, and that's why this affidavit is being created. Blocking the voice and will of the people's representatives to remove bad actors, even in the danger of maladministration, is a trespass and breach of trust. Okay, making excuses as to why the assembly cannot bring Megan Wolf articles of impeachment to a vote is unlawful behavior. So you've seen news articles, you've seen pundits, you've seen the governor get trotted out into an interview, you've seen assembly folks, senators, all speaking openly in public. The ones who don't want us to have a vote, or the people witness a vote, they've all trying to basically play like the courts can stop them from doing this. And that is not the case. That is a lie. There is no power in the judiciary, no lawsuit, nothing. There's nothing that can happen in the executive, nothing that can stop our legislative body from doing a legislative act because of separation of powers to bring articles of impeachment to the floor for a vote. Okay, all of it is smoke and mirrors, and we're being lied to as the people of the state of Wisconsin. So I have the right to a government free from despotism. So what that is one gentleman trying to say that he knows best for everybody. And I'm going to show you what that is. Despotism isn't the word we use frequently, but here it is. I'm going to hold this up. This is Black's Law, 5th edition. And you can pause if you'd like, but I'll read it. So despotism is that abuse of government where sovereign power is not divided, but united and unlimited in the hands of a single man, like Robin Voss, whatever may be his official title. It is not properly a form of government. So that's what he's doing. Let me go back to share here. Okay, so that's what he's doing. He's blocking the voice of the people from these articles of impeachment from coming to the floor. So why that's important, our state has not had anybody be impeached in, gosh, I don't know, maybe even 100 years. So what should that tell everybody in the state of Wisconsin, all the people? What should that tell you? What it should tell you is that our state is such a mess that we have a government that doesn't want to police or remove bad actors from its own body, because then they'll set a precedence of people being removed through impeachment. It's almost like they all want to not say the word impeachment because then they may be susceptible to impeachment. It's like owning a business, a Fortune 500 company, but nobody ever gets fired. What do you think is going to happen to the profits, the morale, the productivity of that business? That's what our state is currently right now. So we need a good old-fashioned impeachment, or at least the hearing of, because Megan Wolf deserves her time and her say in the impeachment process, and that's what we're asking for. So additionally, let me go back. So Robin Voss, on 1/11/2024, the people demanded in the notice that you show where you had the authority to ignore lawful commands from the creators of government. That's the people. Additionally, in the notice, January 11th, 2024, there was a demand that you bring the motion of impeachment to the floor so that the people of the state can witness the performance of our assembly representatives. So here, again, this is the other thing why our state and Robin Voss doesn't want to bring impeachment articles to the floor, is what it does is it forces everybody in our assembly and the Senate to say yay or nay in public to all the evidence that was already collected in Supreme Court rulings in our state, and the Office of Special Investigation, the OSC Gableman report, all that information that was hidden from view and suppressed by our mainstream media, all of that information is in these articles of impeachment. Okay, there's a lot of them. I think there's over a dozen instances that need to be spoken about openly in our state capitol, and all of our assembly representatives and our Senate need to vote so the people of the state of Wisconsin can witness their performance. Because then we're going to find out who's playing okie doke games and trying to not put their name on a vote after we all witnessed what happened. Okay, so here's where the claims come into play. This is the important part of the affidavit. So affiant claims Robin Voss was given lawful demand, then failed to show constitutional authority to deny the vote of the proceedings of impeachment within the time given in the notice, therefore acting with full knowledge and malice. We asked him in the prior notice, hey, if you think you can stop the vote lawfully, just show me in the Constitution where it says you have the authority to halt the vote of the people, the will of the people, or you agree that you're doing it all alone. He failed to respond. We already knew the answer. We don't like to ask questions that we don't have the answer to, but it was still fun to at least allow him the opportunity to explain his actions, and he failed to do so. Affiant claims, second claim, Robin Voss was given lawful demand, then failed to bring the proceedings to the floor for a vote within the time given in the notice. Therefore, he was acting with full knowledge and malice. Again, we gave him a few days. I think it was 5 or 10 days to do it. Clearly didn't do it, so he knows that he's acting with full knowledge and malice. If he did have lawful authority to deny the articles of impeachment, he could have showed us, but he didn't. So you have to realize what these notices and affidavits do. We just use the law. We just teach them peacefully with pieces of paper, and we'll fix our country. So, remedy. To the above mentioned trespasses, I demand a redress of $100,000 for maladministration of the trust and breach of contract. So, folks, when somebody denies you your rights or breaches contract, you have the right to redress your grievances in any way you deem lawful. And this is just one of the ways. There's many ways, but this is just one of them. Everybody has been programmed to think that you have to use an attorney or a court in a building somewhere to go ahead and use your rights or exercise your rights. That is not entirely true. The law has been hidden from us for a long time, and we've all figured this out. So there's thousands of us, and this is going to be happening all over the country, and you guys can be a part of history. Affiant claims and further demands that Robin Voss shall pay an additional $5,000 per day for the continued breach of contract and maladministration of the public trust after receipt of this affidavit until you either resign your position, comply with either of the lawful demands requested above, and what we technically gave you back in January, your impeachment is confirmed by both chambers, or you've been successfully removed from office by any other means. So you can get voted out in the next election. That's fine. You can be removed through recall. That's fine. Those are both lawful removals. But just so you know, Robin Voss, if you do not follow through on the two lawful demands, it's $5,000 per day, and we're just going to use our rights to enforce the law which you swore to. The deprivation of rights may be punished, and that's what we're doing. We're exercising our rights. Maximum Law 51B, the government is to be subject to the law, for the law makes the government. So again, before the legislature even existed, the Constitution preceded their authority. The people created them. They are our creation, therefore we control them, and they are amenable to us at all times. The government obviously is subject to the law because we're the ones that created the law. Okay, that's a common law maxim. If you disagree with any of the claims in this affidavit, you must respond by affidavit within 5 days, point by point, sworn under penalty of perjury, or you agree by acquiescence. All statements in this notice to be truth and fact. Further, you agree that you are acting with full intent, knowledge, and malice by trespassing against the people, and that no court shall be able to rehear this matter. This affidavit shall stand as evidence, truth, and law in all courts of record or by an arbitrator of my choice. And of course, that we are doing this the peaceful way, the same way we got a lot of changes done in our nation by using pieces of paper. And this affiant sends this to you in peace and in the love of Jesus Christ. Affiant name, you'll put your name here. You'll put your address on the next lines there. You will not sign this affidavit until you are in front of a notary. And the notary's information is down here. So the verification part, this will be executed in whichever county where it's signed. If you're in Wisconsin, obviously you leave that there on this day, and then that'll all be filled out. Then there's your autograph. You're going to sign there where it says affiant. You're going to do that in front of a notary. And the notary is going to be a jurat certificate. So the jurat means that you're swearing under penalty of perjury that this is all truth and fact. It's not just notarizing that it's yours, or that it's your signature rather, but that you're swearing to it. So a jurat certificate is like a justice of the peace, and they are witnessing your testimony. Okay. And they'll fill this bottom piece out. They'll sign and put their seal and complete this. So do not do this in front of or without being in front of a notary. Again, I'm gonna scroll to the top to give you some more instructions. When you send the carbon copies, try to get it to the actual office. Try not to send it to a P.O. box, because you're gonna want to send it certified mail. And I'm gonna go ahead and show you something. Stop sharing here. You're going to send this certified mail. This is what it looks like when you do it. Get this open properly. Right here. So when you do it, certified mail, this is your outgoing receipt. Keep this. And when it comes back, it'll look like this. But here's the main part. You're going to send it certified mail, signature requested. Certified mail, restricted delivery. That's the one, restricted delivery. That means that either the person that it's addressed to can sign for it, or their agent can sign. They'll check the box. You're going to keep this as a record that it's been done, and stay tuned for next steps. But this is how we take back our government. We educate our servants, and hopefully at some point they'll stop listening to bad counsel. They're getting bad law information, and it's going to hurt if they don't come back to what the law actually says. So this is your video. I do want to say thank you to God for all of this information that was given to me over the last year or so by way of a gentleman named Dave Jose. So I want to thank him. He is my teacher. You can get a hold of him if you want to learn these things. You can get a hold of Dave at Dave Cares For You on Telegram. That's the Telegram app. It's Dave Cares For You, all spelled out. And also on Truth Social at Dave Cares For You, all spelled out. And then on Twitter or X at Real Dave Cares, the number 4, the letter U, and that's how you get a hold of him on Twitter. You can get a hold of me on True Social and Twitter at clint.keeler, and on Telegram you can get a hold of me at Go Anywhere. It's GONEWHERE. It looks like Gone Where, but that's how you get a hold of me on Telegram. I will be posting the documents, the notices in the links below in the description. And if you have any comments, questions, please do that in there. And then share this everywhere. The broadest diffusion of knowledge is essential for a free state and a free government. If everybody knows this, you, including your local, state, county, township, city, if they know this information, they will start taking it seriously and reading their state constitutions. They'll start reading your rights. They'll know them. They'll understand what they swore to. And more importantly, you'll know how to stand on them. This is the Dave Jose It Is Written method. We've been all over social media for the last year or so, and we've been trying to get a hold of anybody that's willing to want to learn. And we're doing great things, but stay tuned. And God bless America. Thanks much. This video is yours.